Court on Friday quashed the EC's disqualification of the APC presidential candidate, Mr. Hassan Ayariga, and ordered the Commission to afford him the opportunity to amend the errors on his nomination forms.
The court, presided over by Madam Justice Barbara Tetechawi, said CI94 does not preclude aggrieved persons from coming to court through judicial review. The judge added that the nomination period is meaningful if it accommodates all activities incidental to a meaningful conclusion of the filing process. On the allegation of fraud against the APC for the different signatures by one subscriber, Madam Justice Tetechawi stated that the EC could not have waited for investigations to be completed before proceeding to disqualify the flag bearer. Two persons who endorsed the forms of Dr. Hassan Ayariga were also found to have endorsed that of Dr. Edward Mahama of the PNC. This caused Dr. Ayariga's failure to meet the required 432 signatures needed for a candidate to qualify for the elections. Dr. Hassan Ayariga expressed his satisfaction at the ruling.
Ghanaians today have witnessed a very successful event today, which demonstrates to the whole world that our laws are working. No matter who you are, no matter your institutions, when you find faults with or anomalies in your issues, you can always go to the court for redress.
Dr. Ayariga and 12 others were disqualified from contesting the upcoming presidential elections on grounds of failing to meet the set criteria in CI94.
The Supreme Court has adjourned to Monday, November 7 to rule on the Electoral Commission's motion seeking to quash the High Court's ruling to allow the presidential candidate of the PPP, Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndum, amend his nomination forms. A report by Winifred Efum.
An Accra High Court, presided over by Justice Eric J. Bafo, ruled in favor of Dr. Ndum in the case of the Republic versus Mrs. Charlotte Osei and the Electoral Commission as part Dr. Papa Kwesi Ndum last Friday. According to the EC, after reviewing the judgment of the High Court judge's decision, it disagreed with the judge on several essential legal and public policy grounds. Not satisfied with the decision, the EC is challenging it at the Supreme Court. The media was barred from entering the Chief Justice conference room where the hearing was done. After 2 hours of waiting outside the conference room, counsels for both the EC and the PPP refused to brief the media on what transpired in the conference room. PPP lawyer Ayikwe Otu only told journalists present that the case had been adjourned to Monday, 7th November.
No comments. No comments. No comments. Judgment is Monday. Monday judgment. No comments.
For GBC24, Winifred Efum, Accra.
The Indian-owned Diamond Cement Company, which has a presence at Aplau in the Volta region and Buipe in the northern region, has opened another mill at Inyam Boko near Takrad in the western region. President John Mahama, who inaugurated the facility, said the $50 million investment is yet another sign of the growing confidence in Ghana's economy. Napoleon Atokito reports.
The very latest World Bank index on the ease of doing business saw Ghana move up 13 places. In that respect, Ghana was adjudged to be the first in West Africa. In the continent of 54 countries, Ghana came ninth as the place where a business interest can easily do business. President John Mahama averred to the facts emerging from the World Bank and asserted that an economy that is on the decline cannot attract huge investment as the one by Western Diamond Cement. The managing director of the company, Mr. Mutapati Prasad, categorically mentions his company's record achievement as demonstrative of the progress-oriented good governance of Ghana. Diamond Cement first came to Africa in 1991 through Ghana as it entered a joint venture with government in the Tema Steel Company Limited. In the production of cement, Diamond Cement has been exploiting local limestone deposits, and thus diminishes the import of clinker.
We provide direct employment for more than 1,000 people and indirect employment for many more. Steel export from Tema Steel and West African forgings and foreign exchange. Import substitution products of forged grinding media and clinker help in conserving foreign exchange. Our contributions to the exchequer in the last year of 2015 is more than 300 million Ghana cedis.
President Mahama said Ghana as a country under construction requires a lot of cement to effect that process.
Once the plant reaches full capacity production, it will require approximately 1,100,000 metric tons of inputs, and it will produce 1 million tons of ordinary Portland cement. This, we anticipate, will generate about 2,000 direct and indirect jobs for the locality, while also boosting the road transport industry with massive capital injection over the period. I wish also to commend the company for their impressive corporate social responsibility activities, especially in the education and health sectors.
The Western Diamond Cement Company is strategically located and likely to find a ready market in the country. The western region where the new cement mill is located is undergoing massive construction in terms of construction of sea defense walls, road construction, seaport expansion, construction of a free port, a revamp of the rail sector, and companies servicing the oil and gas installations. Foreign cement factories have been establishing presence in Ghana, while indigenously owned counterparts have expanded their production plants and enhanced product quality to meet the competition and take advantage of the booming industry. Napoleon Atukitu reporting.
To the northern region now, with barely a month to the general elections, political parties in the country have intensified their campaigns aimed at clearing the path to victory. The Vice President Kwesi Amissah-Arthur has been in the northern region all week on a campaign to recapture some lost parliamentary seats for the NDC. The latest stop of that campaign is Kumbungu, a seat which the NDC lost to the CPP in the 2013 by-elections.
Of the 31 parliamentary seats in the northern region, the NDC lost 11 in the last elections, including Kumbungu, which the party lost in a by-election 3 years ago. The party is now working to capture that seat in an area which has leaned towards the NDC in previous elections. Vice President Amissah-Arthur and his entourage first held a meeting with the overlord of Kumbungu traditional area, during which the Kumbungu Na Abu Idrisu thanked the government for extending good roads to the area.
We here in Kumbungu have a lot to appreciate and be thankful for to the ruling government for the development schemes they have brought here.
Mr. Kwesi Amissah-Arthur thanked the Kumbungu Na for providing a visionary leadership which he likened to that of President John Mahama, who seeks nothing short of peace, stability and development.
If you look at the work that has been done and the character of the leader of the NDC, really, we shouldn't have a contest. We should just ask him to continue. Because when somebody is doing good work, you encourage him and show him how he can do better. You don't say that because some people have not got a road, he hasn't done well, because development is not a one-day event.
The team then made its way to the palace of the Gbulunlana, Sulemana Aminu, who thanked the government for placing his area on the national development agenda. Mr. Amissah-Arthur pledged government resolve to deliver one agriculture mechanization center for each district to help farmers and agribusinesses expand and achieve better results. At Vogu, the Vogu Na, who is also a member of the Council of State, was grateful for the development in his area. He asked Ghanaians to give President John Mahama a second term in order to finish the numerous projects initiated. The entourage made a whistle stop at the palace of the Tigbunlana, Mahama Abdullahi, who called for government intervention in the form of agricultural inputs which Mr. Arthur pledged will be made available through the agriculture mechanization centers, which will be established if the NDC is returned to power. Mr. and Mr. Arthur's entourage finally visited Zangbalong, where the chief of the area, who is also a regional director of health, was not happy with the rate of maternal death in the northern region, which stood at 104 each year. He said of the 28 districts in the region, 8 have no district hospitals, and pleaded with government to fill that gap, just as it has done in other regions. Chief Dr. Mahama Yakubu also pledged his support for President Mahama's bid for a second term. The vice president said, having laid the foundation for a solid economic takeoff and infrastructure, the second term of President Mahama would focus on creating sustainable jobs and wealth creation in the country.
Still on the campaigning ahead of the December polls, the presidential candidate of the NPP, Nana Akufo-Addo, says he holds the chieftaincy institution in high esteem and will not destool any chief who criticizes him if he's voted into power. According to him, the chieftaincy institution is guaranteed by the Constitution.
Nana-Addo and his campaign team were in Asin Central as part of his tour of the Central region. They first called on the Asin Traditional Council. The team then moved to Asin Central to address supporters who defied the scorching sun to attend the rally at the Lorry Park at Asin Fusu. Nana Akufo-Addo introduced Mr. Kennedy Ohene Japan as the NPP parliamentary candidate for the Asin Central constituency.
School uniform. By promising 123 schools, even 19 homogeneous. Every district in Ghana, is one fact. Now, the person may be good one now, more as I say, no. So when you're a queer, now said you want to Mama, what did you? And the Mamma tells you, Mom, we are queer and say, so fat, Mana, you be bad, say, I say, no. And in the back page,
in the Asin South constituency, Nana Akufo-Addo introduced Mr. John Intim Fodro as the candidate for the NPP in the parliamentary election. Nana Akufo-Addo next visited the Ebura Sebu Kwamankese constituency, where he introduced Mr. Elvis Maurice Donko as the party's parliamentary candidate. Nana Akufo-Addo then made his way to Elmina in the Commander Idina Iguafo Ebirim constituency. The paramount chief of Elmina, Nana Kojo Kondria, received Nana Akufo-Addo and his entourage at his palace and praised Nana Akufo-Addo for conducting an issue-based campaign devoid of insults and attacks. Nana Akufo and his team then addressed party supporters at the Kobna Jam Square at Akoto Bensing.
I president I don't think we attracted a constitution to be Papa Bresson. The institution of chieftaincy is guaranteed. I will vote the Siama. Let me know Baba
The NPP presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo has been campaigning in the central region in a bid to tap the votes his way in one of a handful of typical toss-up regions in the country. On Thursday, as he brought his 3-day tour of the region to an end, Nana Akufo-Addo addressed thousands of youths at the University of Cape Coast and called on Ghanaians to vote the NPP into power. GBC24 has more on that story.
A large crowd welcomed the presidential candidate of the NPP and his entourage as his campaign made a stop at the University of Cape Coast. The forecourt of the Sir Sam Jonah Library was filled with students who were addressed by Nana Akufo-Addo and his team. Nana Akufo-Addo said the NPP has a track record for creating jobs, and if voted into government, will establish a national entrepreneurship and innovative plan that will assist every individual willing to establish his own business.
I want you to think of a Ghana which works, whose economy is expanding and growing, whose industry is developing, whose agriculture is working, is able to feed the people of Ghana and at the same time produce things for export, where we are producing many of the things we import and we're producing them here ourselves.
Nana Akufo-Addo said a vote for the NPP on December 7 will guarantee the future of the country.
A Ghana where when you leave the university, you have the prospects of a good job. A Ghana whose institutions are working, where the parliament, the judiciary, and the agencies of the state are working honestly and effectively in the interest of the citizenry of Ghana. That is the Ghana we want to build.
The NPP says it inherited an ailing economy in 2000, where the nation's growth rate was less than 4%, and then transformed the economy and achieved almost 10% growth at the time they left office in 2008. The NPP says they have done it before and can do it again, and they want Ghanaians to vote for them. It's still News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. In some more stories, 42-year-old Mr. Robert Crensel from the Jumako Inyam Isiam district of the Central Region has been adjudged winner of 2016 National Best Farmer. Before today, Mr. Crensel has won 3 awards in 3 previous years. President John Mahama, who presented the award to the winner, said ayiko to all Ghanaian farmers and promised that the government will continue to invest in the critical areas of agricultural industry to make the sector more attractive to the youth.
Farming is the dominant occupation in Kintampo in the Bono-Afo region. Besides the farming, it is also a hub for traders who deal in foodstuffs from the northern and southern parts of the country. Being the center of the country, it was appropriate that farmers from the rest of the country converge in Kintampo to be recognized. The National Farmers' Day is held every year to recognize the importance of farmers to the nation. The 32nd event was under the theme, Agriculture, a Business Response to Economic Growth. As part of the national event, the celebration is held simultaneously in all regions. The Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture, Madam Hani Sherry Aite, said the government would continue to provide support to fishermen and the fishery industry to increase yield.
The ministry is also rolling out 5-year development program for the aquaculture sector. And we believe that by the year 2018, we will increase aquaculture production to 100,000 metric tons. Your Excellency, the challenge to increase aquaculture production has led to the ministry with a collaboration with a Brazilian company to implement our flagship shrimp farming project under a public-private partnership.
President John Mahama said in 2015, growth in the agriculture sector was 2.5%, and it is not true that that the sector is in decline. He added that agriculture is a critical component to the country's development and it is time the farmers move from subsistence to commercial farming.
It has a tremendous wealth of natural resources, and by leveraging modern technology, the insights gained from research and with significant investment in the service supporting our farmers and fishers and agro-processors, Ghana is well on track to achieving our green revolution.
Award winners include Best Coffee, Best Shea Nuts, and Best Cocoa Farmers. The grand prize was taken by Robert Krensel from the Jumaku Enyanisian district of the Central Region. For his prize, Mr. Krensel will be giving a 3-bedroom house fully furnished by the Agricultural Development Bank at a location of his choice. We now bring you how the Farmers' Day was marked in the Western and Ashanti regions.
And in the Ashanti region, the Farmers' Day event was held at Pokukrum in the Ahafo South District. A 50-year-old professor of the Business University of Costa Rica, Professor Alan Kwesi Yeboah, emerged as the overall best farmer. Professor Yeboah took away a certificate, a tricycle, pumping machine, motorized sprayer, wheelbarrow, and other goodies. The runner-up position went to Nana Yao Sapon, Cerebral of Dwabin. A total of 24 individuals and groups in the agric value chain were recognized and rewarded for their outstanding contribution to agricultural production in the Ashanti region this year. This year's Ashanti Regional Farmers' Day Awards was held jointly with that of the Ahafo South District. 38-year-old woman Madam Agnes Enuwa Osei of Jankotebu was adjudged as the best Ahafo South farmer. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Mr. John Alexander Akon, said the agric sector is the major employment avenue for the nation, hence the need to tackle all the challenges facing the sector. Asankragua was the destination for all the farmers in the Western region. A 38-year-old farmer, Dennis Awito Gujo, from Osei Kujokrom in the Bia West District, was adjudged the overall regional best farmer. Mr. Awito Kujo took home 1 tricycle, water pump with hose, mist blower, knapsack sprayer, 2 Wellington boots, 2 cutlasses, 1 full piece of GTV wax print, radio cassette player, 4 agrochemical assorted products, and a certificate of merit. In all, 39 farmers were also honored. The overall regional best fisherman went to Francis Nyakun Adule from Axim in the Nzema East Municipality. He received a deep freezer, 2 fishing nets, ropes, floats, Wellington boots, cutlasses, knapsack sprayer, and radio cassette player, among others. The regional best cocoa farmer is Osmano Yakubu from Tufirioso. The regional first farmer, aquaculture, went to Reverend Simon Asamoah. For his prize, he took home a Wellington boot, cutlasses, and fertilizer. The Western Regional Minister, Mr. Paul Evans Edu, said government has put in place various interventions to make the agric sector attractive to the youth. The chiefs of Asankragua appealed to government to support the youth who have developed interest in farming in the region.
Due to the presidential election 2016, the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC, in collaboration with Star Ghana, will be holding a live encounter starting from Monday the 7th of November to Saturday the 30th of November from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. This means the 7 p.m. news will be telecast at 6 p.m. on these days. At this point, we go for a break. We'll be back shortly with business.
Education is everything. NDC is investing in our future. Vote John Mahama. Vote NDC.
NDC,
changing lives, transforming Ghana.
This year's AGI Ghana Industry Awards will be memorable as the Association of Ghana Industries, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade and Industry, presents the 5th Annual AGI Ghana Industry Awards. Theme: Growing Local Industry for Export Development and Job Creation. Comes off on Saturday, 5th November 2016 at the Banquet Hall, State House at 6:30 p.m. prompt. Special guest of honor, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. For ticket reservations, please contact AGI on 0302 779-023 or 4. This year's AGI Awards is sponsored by Activa International Insurance, Fan Milk Ghana Limited, British Council, B5 Plus, Olam Ghana, GCB Bank, Echo Bank, and supported by Crocodile Machets, Guinness Ghana Breweries Limited, Nestle Ghana Limited, Unispan Ghana Limited, Coca-Cola, Media Partners, Business and Financial Time, Ghana Business Finance. Be a part of this memorable experience.
Ebiem, o vote ya o ton yi. Edien pa do yan. Mo adwen hu ana. Enkotu vote ntwini o.
PPP, yes sir. Yo, PPP, ya braza, ya papa prakum. Yo, PPP. PPP, PPP, yes sir.
Welcome back to the news. In business this evening, Air France KLM will from February next year increase its weekly flight 10 times directly from Accra to Paris and Amsterdam. This follows Air France's entry into the Ghana-European route. It will offer 3 weekly flights from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport to the Kotoka International Airport, coupled with the KLM weekly flight.
Air France KLM currently operates flights to 46 destinations in Africa. These include Addis Ababa, Blantyre, Bujumbura, Harare, Khartoum, Lilongwe, Livingstone, Lubumbashi, Lusaka, among others. In addition to its joint venture partnership with Kenya Airways, the group offers even more frequencies between Europe and Africa and has expanded its network with another 18 destinations. The Air France entry into the Accra-Europe route comes on the back of stiff competition from rival companies across the world. These 3 weekly flights will strengthen Air France's presence in Africa, as KLM already flies daily from Amsterdam to Accra. With this new service, Air France will provide its customers with even more connecting opportunities at Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, both to and from Europe and North America. The move to do business in Accra is due to Ghana's emerging oil and gas industry and a buoyant services sector. Air France country manager for Nigeria, Jean Raru Tozin, said customers should expect nothing but quality services.
This type of aircraft, 777-200, is equipped with 28 business class, 24 premium economy, and 260 economy class. So after 1 month of operation, we will increase the capacity out of Ghana to Paris by 106.
The French ambassador to Ghana, Francois Boujulat, said France sees Ghana as a strategic partner in all areas, and the launch of Air France in Ghana will further strengthen bilateral and economic relations between the two countries.
This big news of opening a new route, a new flight, direct flight between Ghana and France, Accra and Paris, is not only a symbol, but it reflects a reality, the reality of growing ties and relations between two countries. There is still indication that we can expect more tourism, more French tourists coming to Ghana. Ghana is very keen to develop its attractivity in terms of tourism.
The Air France flights from Accra will be operated by Airbus A330 with a capacity of 208 seats until 27th March 2017. This will, however, be replaced with Boeing 777-200 with 312 seats and equipped with the latest new Air France travel cabins for the entire summer season.
The Managing Director of the National Investment Bank, Mr. John Asamoah, says the bank will continue to explore innovative ways to serve its cherished small and medium enterprise SME customers better. Speaking at the climax of the bank's Retail Credit and SME Week celebration in Kumasi, Mr. Asamoah said underpinning the bank's growth is the SME sector. Therefore, products tailored towards that sector will bring economic growth and also facilitate the bank's expansion drive.
The National Investment Bank (NIB), which was established to facilitate rapid industrialization in all sectors of the Ghanaian economy, now operates as a universal bank with special focus on SME development and commercial banking activities. According to managers of NIB, they recognize the importance of SMEs to the growth and development of every economy. This is why the bank rolled out the Retail Credit and SME Week celebration every year to acknowledge and appreciate contributions of SMEs, identify their challenges, and exchange ideas with them for the future. This year's 2016 Retail Credit and SME Week celebration is under the theme Still Taking Retail Credit and SME Banking to Your Doorstep. The week-long celebration features activities like Pitch a Tent campaign at all branches, focus group discussions, management visits to customers, and a health walk. Some of the bank's existing credit products include those targeted at acquisition of building materials, motorbikes, and electrical appliances, among others. At the official launch in Sunyani, the chief executive of NIB said the bank assured SME operators of financial services, including advice, that will enable them to be on the path of sustainable growth. As part of activities marking the celebrations, clients of the bank were treated to a dinner aimed at expressing the bank's commitment to serve their customers. The managing director of NIB, Mr. John Asamoah, outlined the plans they have put in place for the SME sector.
Our main objective for this year's SME Week celebrations is to help our customers keep proper records of their daily sales. We want to assure you that NIB will stand by you to grow your business.
The management of the NIBC, it will establish an SME center in Greater Accra and Ashanti regions to be responsible for client delivery operations. These centers will serve Bonahafu as well as the 3 regions of the north.
We now take the interbank rates. Next is the Commodity Board. And that's it for the business segment of the news. We'll be back shortly with some health stories. Do stay with us.
Tomatoes on the 5 cities. Tomatoes on the 5 cities. Tomatoes on the 5 cities. No one of them are going to ask it. So you want to be doing. You're going to be
I'm playing John Dramani Mahama. No signing too many big. Where's the ultra modern market or Zamahan? You go for your school. Fire service woman. Biblia woman. Hospital woman. Biblia woman. Hey! Why a stadium? And then wait, how where am I? Street the more than the why ask Pato? It's saying I don't want you know your cabbage. I'm playing Bahama. Yes, you go. I am a hand and never kind there. People love men, I want to from me to be the end is shining.
Now for some health stories. Cholera has become an annual disease in Ghana. It is mostly recorded during and after the rainy season. Although a lot of intervention have been introduced in the past, the disease still remains a daunting task for city authorities and health experts to surmount. Currently, Cape Coast has already recorded over 150 cases between the end of September till date. Health experts are worried that if immediate interventions are not introduced, the situation will be disastrous. The health desk looks at the disease in perspective.
From the dry winds of January to March, the most common disease in Ghana is flu or cold. Sometimes the harmattan comes along with an eye disease, commonly referred to as Apollo. Nowadays, the onset of the rainy season is gradually becoming synonymous with cholera due to the filth in the gutters in towns and cities. In all these cases, the effects have been catastrophic, as some people who spoke to GBC24 account to the team. In 2014, for instance, 20,000 cases of cholera were recorded with over 200 deaths. 2015 saw about 1,000 cases reported. 2016 is not exception. The latter part of September to the first week of November have seen over 150 cholera cases reported in Cape Coast, the central regional capital. Sampling the opinions of some residents in the capital, the health desk realized that people's perception about the disease is high, but what is left is translating the knowledge into action.
I know it's an infection, and we get it from eating contaminated foods and drinking contaminated water.
We get cholera from dirty environments and through open defecation. You have to wash your hands after every activity.
Anybody can get cholera. It doesn't know any specific person that get cholera.
The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, in an effort to curb the increasing numbers of cholera cases as well as some intestinal diseases, in 2014 introduced some policies including the National Sanitation Campaign, a concept that seeks to rid the country of filth. So we asked if the concept has failed to achieve its set targets.
In this part of our region, it's endemic. What it means is that the germs responsible for cholera and other things are already in the system. And then we have a number of risk factors. So once we lose sight of any of those risk factors, we will definitely get it. The major contribution is from the National Sanitation Campaign. Yeah, so for me, I would say that it has made impact.
Since we cannot run away from this infectious disease, which is caused by the ingestion of the bacterium Vibrio cholerae present in fecally contaminated water or food, the way out is to resort to washing of hands frequently with soap under running water, eating hot foods and drinking clean water. Health experts also recommend that Individuals should report to the nearest health facility when they have watery stool.
Now, 68-year-old Rebecca Amoa is suffering from a condition that has led to the swelling of her left jaw. Rebecca needs a surgical procedure to relieve her of the pains from her swollen jaw, but do not have the means to pay for the cost of the surgery. We caution viewers about the disturbing nature of the pictures.
Ameloblastoma is a rare disorder of the jaw involving abnormal tissue growth. The resulting tumors are usually not malignant, but the tissue growth may be aggressive in the involved area. Rebecca Amoa was diagnosed with the condition about 4 years ago. She was to undergo a surgical procedure to correct the defect, but due to her inability to raise the requested sum, she could not get treatment. Rebecca says the condition gives her severe pains in the head and sleepless nights due to the swollen jaw. Surgery sometimes cures this condition if all the tumor and cancer cells are removed. Her condition is currently being managed with chemotherapy. Rebecca needs about 7,000 Ghana cedis to undergo treatment. She is appealing to the public to help her foot the bill of the surgery to save her life. Donations should be deposited into account number 2081010063 of the Ghana Commercial Bank, Asamankese branch. Account name is Alexander Hagan. Alternatively, one can donate through the mobile money account number 0242434546.
And you're welcome to the sports segment. My name is Adeline Seli Bebli. The Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation's nationwide novice competition has taken place at the Tamale Sports Stadium. The event is the first step towards reintroduction of the National Amateur Boxing League.
Amateur boxers from the northern, upper east and upper west regions had the opportunity to display their talent at the National Novice Amateur Boxing Championship held at the Tamale Sports Stadium. In all, 10 pugilists exhibited their skills in the lightweight, flyweight, light middleweight and light heavyweight divisions. The idea by the Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation is to help recruit the best talents across the country into the National Amateur Boxing team, the Black Bombers. The National Novice Amateur Boxing Championship has been grouped into 4 zones, with Tamale being the first zone. The second zone will feature pugilists from the Bonahafo and Ashanti regions, slugging it out at the Barbara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. From there, the search team will move to the Accra Sports Stadium, where boxers from Accra, Volta, and Eastern regions will have their turn. The event will end when pugilists from the Central and Western regions take their turn. Officials from the Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation say there are more competitions lined up which are geared towards identifying and grooming the new generation of the Black Bombers, the national boxing team, for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. The regional sports director, John Bosco Abasi, was happy at the enthusiasm shown by the pugilists and called for support.
This is the first time we are having a program of this nature. It's a novice tournament. That's the first time we're having a novice tournament. That's the beginners. And this package has been brought together by the Federation Chairman, Gideon Kote. He has come up with this noble idea. And we are saying that it is worth pursuing. And we are asking, or we are appealing to the government, the ministry, and the individuals to support this program. Because this is where we can build up the talent. This is where we can identify the talents in the young boys and then to build them up onto the national level.
Promising boxers were presented with some tokens.
Boxing superstar Manny Pacquiao is out to prove he is still one of the very best around in his upcoming world title clash. The Filipino fighter will be facing WBO welterweight champion Jesse Vargas in Las Vegas on Saturday night. From boxing, we move to some NBA. The Golden State Warriors handed the Oklahoma City Thunder their first defeat of the season. They beat them by 122 points to 96. And that's all for sports. Up next is entertainment.
In the arts and entertainment, at the just-ended NAFAC traditional beauty pageant held at the Arts Center, the Volta Regional Representative Linda Amanuveve was crowned Miss NAFAC 2016. She beat 19 other contestants to win the crown.
The contestants opened the show with their dance moves. After answering some questions from the judges, all the contestants were given certificates for participating.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very much.
5 contestants made it to the final round. Contestant number 16, however, beat her competitors to win the crown.
So she will sit and then they will give her the crown.
I Can't Think Far is a play telling the story of a politician who is blind to the consequences of his bad temper. This is the 10th play by playwright Abubakar Latif. I Can't Think Far premieres at the International Conference Center on Sunday, the 6th of November at 4 p.m.
The play is dedicated to promoting nonviolence in the society. With just a few days to the long-awaited presidential debate, the politician realizes his anger is getting out of hand and seeks spiritual help from Reverend, an anger therapist. The play will see actors Eko Smith Asante and Ajeti Anand live on stage.
From food to Chobi, exactly. Make the president to be. How dare you? Oh, you haven't seen anything.
And this is where we draw the curtain on News Hour. Thanks so much for your time. We'll be back at 10:30 for News Tonight.